morning. It is actually now the next day, so the footage you would have just seen, I spent all day yesterday cleaning and tidying, and honestly, I don't know about anybody else, and I know it's kind of like the inevitable when you have kids, but I literally blitzed the whole of the flat, like cleaned it, and then literally this morning, and obviously from last night, it literally looks like a bomb's gone off. So sometimes I just really do wonder why I even bother. But I have literally just done the school run. I don't know what it is today, but it's absolutely boiling. I am literally having a granny. Like, my flat is so hot. Penelope is asleep and Summer is obviously at school. So plans for today, I really need to sort out the hospital bags, write a list. I think I've said this in most of my vlogs and I just haven't got around to doing it. That's something I definitely need to do today. And then I don't think I actually have given you guys a update on my midwife appointment at 28 weeks. And I'm literally now just over 30 weeks. But yeah, I don't think I'll give you an update. So I think I'll give you a bit of an update a little bit later on. There's not really much to update you on my 28 week actual midwife appointment. But we did end up in hospital a few days after, which I will talk to you guys about at some point. I really need to go through my clothes in my wardrobe and my drawers. Our drawers have completely collapsed in on each other and we just have too much clothes that we don't even wear or doesn't fit. And I keep saying, like, once baby boy's here, I'm just going to buy a whole new wardrobe because my body shape is going to completely change. The clothes that I have now aren't going to like suit my body shape. So I really just need to be like brutal and be like, right, don't wear that, get rid of it. I've done most of the rooms in the flat, so the kitchen was completely gutted and all the rubbish was just chucked out. We did Summer's room, we gutted her room, chucked everything out that was broken, rubbish, like everything gone. The living room wasn't too bad because obviously it's just kids' toys. So we did all that. And the only room that's left is our room, and it's the most important room, but I just keep shutting it out because it is literally the biggest mess. But because we live in a 2-bed flat with 4 of us, soon to be 5 of us, there is literally just no room, no space for nothing. So we really need to crack down, sort out all the rubbish that's in our room. So today I may start with sorting out clothes and shoes and stuff like that because it is literally driving me mad. And then it is supposed to be nice today, but this afternoon I think it is due to rain. So I'm going to try and get out for some fresh air today as well. I used to be really good at taking an hour out of my day to go for a walk or have things like to go and do, and I just haven't had any of that because obviously we are trying to save money. We just don't have the loose cash just to throw around. So I'm going to try and do that today. I'm going to stop rambling. I'm going to grab some breakfast because I'm hungry, and then once I've had my breakfast we will have a little bit of a chit chat, catch up, and I'll update you guys on what's been going on. I honestly cannot get over how friggin' hot it is in my flat today. Like, it is boiling, but I am now in the middle of sorting out the bags to go inside baby's hospital bag. I think I mentioned this in a previous video before. I was going through all of his stuff the other day and I generally thought we had a lot more than what we did. I was starting to feel a little bit stressed that we just weren't going to be prepared, but I've just decided to take the pressure off, and we have decided that we're just going to get what we need for the hospital bags. We're not taking tiny baby because I really don't think he's going to be tiny at all. We are going with up to 1 month, 0 to 3, newborn, and first size for baby boy. And we just said we'd get those bits that we need for the sort of hospital bag, and then we can go off what we need and we can just go out and get it, just to make it a little bit easier and slightly less stressful for us. So there was a few of the bags that are half done or not done, and we're just getting bits slowly. So we have just over 9 weeks to go, if that. Yeah, we've decided that it's time to get bags sorted. So I kept the same bags that I used when I went into hospital with Nelly, and I will use the little suitcase as well. So this bag is actually done and complete. So This just has up to 1 month and 0 to 3 months stuff inside. And I've just popped in 3 0 to 3 vests, 2 up to 1 month vests, 2 0 to 3 sleep suits, and 2 up to 1 month sleep suits. So this one is actually complete. So that one can actually go into the suitcase ready. The next bag that I have, which is half done, is newborn. So in here we currently have one coming home outfit, which I really don't think is going to fit him because it only goes up to £7.5. Wishful thinking, but I'm hoping, so I've packed it anyway. And then there is literally just 3 newborn vests in there as well. And then I have got just 1 newborn sleep suit in there, so we do actually need to just go out and grab a pack of newborn sleep suits just so I can pop a few more in. And then that is that one complete. I think that's literally like the only thing that we have left to get clothes wise for the hospital bag for him. Then this brings us on to the next couple of bags that we need to fill. So I've started this one, so this just has 3 pairs of socks in it, and in here we're going to add muslins and bibs, and we are only going to buy 1 or 2 hats, but we don't want to get it in a pack that has scratch mitts, just because we are not taking scratch mitts, and we're not buying scratch mitts this time around because a lot of the sleep suits have them built in already and they just fall off and they're really just unnecessary. So we are not taking them this time around. So we need to fill this one. There is the muslins to go in, so we'll do that today. And then we have this empty bag here, which is for all of the first size stuff, which I actually went over to Asda and purchased some new bits in first size because I believe Asda is the only place that has first size bits. I'm going to show you what I picked up because they are super cute, and then we can decide what we want to take and pop it in the bags, and then that'll be another bag done. I'm going to show you what I picked up. So I know we've got loads already, and I'm pretty sure there's some plain ones, some neutral ones in there as well, from Nelly. But obviously Nelly loves her little muslin blanket. She sleeps with them, she carries it around most places, she absolutely loves it. So we did want to just get a few that were just for him. I picked up a pack of muslin squares for £3.75, and these are all just sort of neutral ones. So it's got this like stone colour, it's got a white one with some little spots on in like neutral colours, and then it's got like this burnt, I wouldn't say it's burnt orange, but it's got like this brownie coloured one as well, and I absolutely love these. So we're going to pop those into the bag as well. I'm going to take all 3 just to be on the safe side. Probably won't need all 3, but you just never know. Then I picked up in first size a pack of 7 bodysuit short sleeved for £8, and I did try getting the matching sleep suits to these, but they didn't have any in first size. They were all the bigger sizes, so I couldn't. They've just got like safari animals on, mainly lions, which is fine. And then I picked up again in obviously first size. This is the baby event. There was no baby event on, I'm not gonna lie. We looked everywhere and there was no event on, so I picked up a pack of 5 neutral bodysuits for £6, and again these have just got pandas on. I just thought they were really cute, and these are probably the ones that I am going to pack, and then the blue ones will probably be the ones that stay at home. But these are the vests, so we'll probably pack these ones. And then I absolutely fell in love with these. They are the cutest, and this was £15 for 4, I believe. Yes, for 4, and it is these really cute neutral safari sleep suits. Like, they're so cute, and they've all got the built-in mitts as well, which is something that I look for, especially with them being so little. They do scratch their faces quite a lot, so it's literally just got all these safari animals, and they're zippy ones, which I absolutely love. And this one here is actually obviously like a button one, so it's got 3, I believe 3 zippies. Yeah, 3 zippies and 1 poppy. That sounded really bizarre then. So pick these up, and that was literally like all I picked up, because like I said, there wasn't really much going on in the boys section at Asda, which I'm kind of gutted about, because normally they have some really nice stuff and fairly cheap or in the sale or in their baby event, and they just didn't, and I was kind of gutted. But I'm going to pack these bags and then we will come back and I will probably do the update, and there's some story time to tell you too. So I'm going to sort this out now. Hopefully by about 32 weeks I will have bags done and we won't need to touch them, they will just be put away. I thought we'd have a little bit of a chit chat, a little bit of story time. So I had my 28-week midwife appointment over 2 weeks ago now. Obviously, like I said, I am just over 30 weeks now. Everything was good. My glucose test came back fine, so that was good. I had to have some more bloods taken, and she said obviously if anything was picked up in that, then she'd give me a ring before my next appointment. But again, not heard anything, so guessing everything was fine. We heard baby boy's heartbeat and it was healthy, it was strong, and it was just really nice to hear it again, because the last time we heard it was obviously at our 16-week midwife appointment. So that was really nice. The only thing she didn't do, which I'm pretty sure they did when I was pregnant with Penelope, is she didn't have a feel of my tummy to see which way round baby was, because when I went with Penelope at 28 weeks, she was already head down and somewhat, not obviously fully engaged because there's stages, but she was partially engaged. So we have no idea which way up he is right now. We had a discussion about the late movements that I felt. I felt movements very, very late on. So I think it was around about 23 weeks, between 22 and 23 weeks, that I actually first felt anything. And obviously I was starting to get a bit concerned, but they do say that obviously if you haven't felt anything by, I think it's 24 weeks, then obviously to ring, and then they'd go from there. I don't really know what the whole procedure is with that, but luckily we started to feel movements around about week 22, week 23. And obviously I had brought this up to the midwife because obviously she said that's quite unusual when it comes to like your third, fourth, fifth, sixth pregnancy, and the movements are quite late on unless you have an anterior placenta or there's other things going on. He's moving a lot now, and she was happy with his heartbeat and everything like that. So she obviously just said anything from then on, because obviously this was at my 28-week appointment, anything from then on to obviously ring the triage and go and get checked. Which then brings us on to the story time. Everything was good with me at my 28-week midwife appointment. However, that was on the Thursday, and then by the Saturday I went in for reduced movement. So when I rang up, I rang the triage, I rang the maternity advice line, and the lady on the phone was really, really lovely. I sort of just explained to her what was happening, and she said because obviously the change in his pattern of movement is not normal for me, they'd like me to go in and just be monitored for a little while. Literally, they asked me to do my urine sample when I got there, because every time you are admitted into triage they do like to take a urine sample. So by the time I'd gone in and done that and come out, they had called me in to be taken to a bed and to get started. I was sat there for about 10 minutes on the bed waiting for someone to come back and sort all the monitors out, which is fine, I get it. They are short-staffed, they are running around like headless chickens. It was quite busy, but not too busy. The lady, the nurse, midwife, triage nurse, whatever you call them, I don't really know what to call them, seemed lovely at first, and then things went a little bit downhill. So my sister actually came with me. She obviously hooked me up to the machine for monitoring of baby, and she literally just plonked it on, and it picked up my heart rate at first, and then she just moved it a little bit, and then obviously it picked up his. She basically went on to say, obviously when she'd done that, that I'm going to have to hold the sensor to my belly because obviously he's still very small and I'm still very early on in my pregnancy. And I didn't think anything of it at first because at this point I was just like, you know, that's fine. So she'd done all my blood pressure and everything like that first. That's all she did. She didn't measure my bump. She didn't feel around to see which way he was facing, like to obviously try and place the the sensors on properly. She literally just done my blood pressure and then plonked the sensors on. So obviously I wasn't too fussed about holding it. So she obviously said, you're just going to have to hold it because obviously he's still very small, he's going to move a lot. And she basically said that obviously because his heart rate was sitting at around about 135, 140 a lot of the time, that obviously if it drops lower than that, then 9 times out of 10, it's probably picked up my heart rate rather than his. So literally within 5 minutes of her leaving, we lost his heart rate, couldn't find it. We tried for ages, we moved the sensors, everything, but there was no buzzer to ring the nurse to come back. And obviously the midwife nurse, she said to me that it should only take around about 10-15 minutes, and I was probably in there an hour in total because we kept losing his heart rate. So we lost it for probably like a good 5 minutes. My sister found it again, so she held it in place, and then the midwife came back and she huffed and puffed and was like, well, it's not going to work, the machine's not going to work because it's picked up yours. And then she was like, your friend, as in insinuating my sister, probably shouldn't hold it because you know what pressure you need to apply. And I basically just said to her that I couldn't find it, she found it, and it just seemed a little bit easier because I can't see that far down my belly. Do you know what I mean? So she huffed and puffed and she said, oh, we're going to have to start again. It should only take 10-15 minutes. So I just sat there in silence and didn't say anything because I found that she came across really, really rude. And then she basically just said, yeah, you're still like really early on in your pregnancy. You're just going to have to hold it and really move it if he moves because he's still really small. So she left again and we managed to do it. I think we literally lost it for like a split second, not for very long at all. And we got it back again. And then after about 20 minutes, she came back and she was like, oh, is it still not done? I was like, no, not yet. She goes, well, it should be done soon. It should be done soon. I was like, yeah, that's fine. That's like not a problem. She goes, yeah, it should only take like 15-20 minutes at max. Like you don't really need to be hit any longer than that. And during this time, obviously his heart rate had spiked quite high on 2 occasions, but obviously they have said to me, like when they do move around, it can obviously trigger their heart rate to go up. As long as it comes back down quite quickly, then it's not really a cause for concern. But she just kept insisting on telling me that I didn't need to be there any longer than what I had already been there at, and that I was still very early on. She was just really rude, and she was like, oh, the machine should be done soon, it should just stop soon. And she stood there and waited. She goes, oh, there you go, it's all done. She's like, you only just qualify for one of these. I was like, okay. By this time I was just wanting to get out because she just made me feel really, really rubbish, and like I was just a real big inconvenience to her. There's a few times she huffed and puffed and rolled her eyes. I get that they're busy, I get that they're short-staffed, but there's still no need to be rude or make pregnant women, because that could have been someone on their like first pregnancy, like, and they could really have made them feel really, really rubbish and possibly not even want to come back again. And this is like the first experience that I've had with a rude midwife nurse throughout the whole of all of my pregnancies. So I wasn't going to let it stop me from going back if I need to go back. Like I am not going to let that affect me going back. By this point, she was like, oh, we'll go write your notes up and then you can go. Like I just wanted to get out, and normally I would check my notes before I leave just so then if I had any questions about anything I could ask them, but on this occasion I didn't. I just wanted to go. And then when I got home, they obviously put in the sheet from the machine in the back of your notes. And then there was another form in there which I don't think I had when I had gone in with Penelope, so I don't know whether it's like a new thing. And it was just a form indicating like what she'd done and everything like that. And on the form it said that he was in a transverse position. My fundal height was 29 centimeters. That she had a feel of my tummy and there was no tenderness. And then it said about whether she had plotted this information on the graph in the book or something, and she had put no. And I already put up a TikTok, I think, because I just wanted some clarification. And obviously when I see my midwife, I will obviously ask her about it as well. But I assumed that the only way that you could tell which way baby was round was by having a feel of obviously my tummy to find out where he was facing, and she didn't do that. And the only way to get a fundal height again was to measure, and again she didn't. And to then put that I had no tenderness on my belly, again she wouldn't know that information unless she had a feel of my belly, and none of that happened. So obviously I did head over to TikTok just to see if anyone else had experienced it or whether they could get this information obviously from the machine. And let me tell you, there was quite a few people that were either in the healthcare profession or were midwives or were trainee midwives that had actually said normally the only way to get a position of baby and a measurement of your fundal height is to measure and feel, and that didn't happen. So basically what she's put in my notes is false information. I don't know whether she got me mixed up with somebody else and thought she'd done that and hadn't. Like, I generally don't know. So obviously I am going to speak to my midwife. Experience in the triage this time round just was not great at all. My care in triage with Penelope in probably the height, well, partly the height of the pandemic, was a lot better than the treatment now. And I know there is a lot of strain on the NHS and maternity services, I know that, but that is still no reason to make a pregnant woman feel shitty about coming in for reduced movements. So yeah, my experience wasn't great, and obviously we are going to be questioning the possible false information in my notes. That's the one thing that's probably really getting to me. Yeah, just don't let one bad experience affect like the whole of your pregnancy experience and stop you from going to be checked, because like I said, it is very important. It's gone over really cloudy now, so I'm guessing it's probably about time it's going to rain, so we might not get out for our walk today. But yeah, I need to get up now because I'm getting pins and needles and it's slightly uncomfortable. So I've managed to sort through some of the shoes. So we now have a massive bag full of shoes that still have plenty of life left in them. So I think we'll probably take them down to the shoe bank down at our local Morrison's. They could just be put in there just because they're still in pretty good condition. This is the bag here, and this is just the shoes from the cupboard in the hallway. I will probably sort through our wardrobe shoes later on when James gets back, because I don't know what ones he wants to keep and what ones he doesn't. So I'll probably just sort through mine, and then I think I'm going to make a start on, excuse the lighting, like the lighting's terrible. We just have no lighting in the flat whatsoever. And then I think I'm going to make a start on the like little table area that I've got. So I'll just show you. Please just excuse the mess, okay? So I think I'm going to make a start on this area here. This is Nellie's trike. It has nowhere else to go, so it is literally just sitting in here. But there's bags for like baby boy stuff. We've got excess hangers that we don't really need. There's clothes that need like putting up. There's just loads of stuff on here that needs clearing. So I think I'm going to make a start on this little area first and probably sort through all the jackets on the back of the wardrobe, because there is quite a few sort of underneath here that I don't wear anymore. So they can probably be sorted, bagged up and then sent off to charity. a lot of it probably is going to go to charity, just because I don't want it lingering around. I don't want to try and sell it and it take forever to try and sell. But that is the next step. It is to sort this area here, and we can just slowly start to make a little bit of progress. This is currently as far as I've got. All this here needs a home, but obviously right now we don't have anywhere to put it. It is baby boy stuff that he's going to need pretty much when he's here. And do excuse all the marks of the table. This table will eventually be going, but right now it's kind of just here. We do need to get a set of chest of drawers, and then I am just going to pull the suitcase out in a second and put baby stuff in there. But it's definitely looking a lot better than what it was. We have sorted this area out, so it's looking a little bit more tidy, and I have just sorted out my jumpers and stuff on the back of the door as well, which James will need to go through his as well on the back of there and sort through that as well. So this is currently how this area is now looking. It's definitely looking a lot tidier. I do just need to wipe it down and stuff. But we are getting close to now picking summer up. I have just hung up all of our clean washing, but my next task, probably when I get home from picking summer up, is to sort through the wardrobe and get rid of anything that we don't wear, because we just have way too much. Like, there's just stuff all up here, and then there's stuff all down here as well, so I do need to go through all that. And then, like I said, all our drawers have literally caved in on themselves. It is such a pain. But I will need to go through all this as well. Again, that may be a job for tomorrow. When I come home from picking Summer up from school, I am going to tackle my wardrobe, because it is driving me potty and there's so much stuff that I do not wear at all. So that'll be the next job on the list.